May 23rd will be 55 years since Wrestling at the Chase first aired in St. Louis. Here at SICW Wrestling Explosion, we salute that anniversary, which isn't far away. Hello, I'm Larry Matisick. From 1959 to 1983, Wrestling at the Chase was the premier television wrestling show in America. One of the stars on top during the 70s and 80s was Harley Race. Today, let's enjoy some of Race's finest moments. After these messages, we'll be at Kiel Auditorium on February 6, 1981, World Champion Harley Race versus Ted DiBiase. Once more, the exciting 2013 season proved that the Gateway Grizzlies are an important part of the St. Louis and Metro East sports scene. Every game is fun for fans of all ages, hustling and hard-hitting. The Grizzlies always provide plenty of bang for the buck. In addition, the GCS ballpark is the perfect place to enjoy baseball. The organization, the facility, part of our community. Baseball is America's game, and the Gateway Grizzlies do it right. Keep in touch with new developments. Go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
Nobody who saw it will ever forget the last time Harley Race defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Ted DiBiase. Let's join the first fall action between Race and DiBiase, a match nobody will ever forget, least of all Ted DiBiase and Harley Race. This is the first fall. You see Harley Race scoring with that knee drop across the head of Ted DiBiase. Race grabbing Ted's head, straightening him up, pounding on the face with a hard punch. DiBiase staggering backwards. Harley lifting him to the air, and watch this move, a standing pile driver, something Harley Race uses tremendously well, something he hasn't used until just recently. The standing pile driver. The referee makes the count, and the first fall went to the world champion, Harley Race. DiBiase badly stunned, but in the second fall, DiBiase took charge. He arm whips Race into the corner, throwing him in there, but Race comes off punching. Side headlock on the Missouri State champion. DiBiase lifts Race to the air and drives Race's knee into Ted's own knee. Spinning toe hold by DiBiase and into the figure 4 leg lock. The figure 4 leg lock by Ted DiBiase. Race realizing the damage that can be done with that crippling hold. Race trying to hang on, but knowing there's still another fall to go. Race submits, and the second fall went to Ted DiBiase. It was one fall apiece. Now, get ready for the third fall. Unbelievable action throughout the match. They have been going at it hot and heavy for close to half an hour altogether, and there's a body drop into the leg of Race. Race, knowing his knees are hurting, knowing he's in trouble, he has to stay away from that figure 4 at all costs. He has to find an opening. He wants that gold belt more than anything in the world. He's had it for over 4 years. He won't give it up unless he is broken. There's the spinning toe hold. DiBiase straining on it, putting pressure into that knee. Again, the spinning toe hold by DiBiase on Race, trying to make Race give up, but at least, if nothing else, to punish that leg, to soften the leg and make it a little bit easier if he can get the figure 4 on the world champion. Once more, DiBiase spins around with that leg, twisting the toe, the ankle, the knee. DiBiase, though, catches a punch to the face from Harley Race. Race would do anything to keep that gold belt. He's said it before, and he's proven it. He will do anything to keep the title. DiBiase and Race both staggering to their feet, feeling the wear and tear of this tremendous match. Race with the one-arm backbreaker, dropping DiBiase after the backbreaker. You can see the wear and tear on both men now. Race trying to get over and cover DiBiase. The referee gets down to make the count. DiBiase kicks out with all his strength and drops Race, all 252 pounds, across the back of referee Charles Venator. Venator stunned. The wind knocked out of him. Race comes to his feet. DiBiase sees Race, an easy target. Flying tackle, he misses. Race stepped aside, and DiBiase knocks Venator right out of the ring next to the announcer stand. DiBiase knocking the referee out of the ring with that flying tackle. Venator was on his back as DiBiase and Race slug it out right above the referee. Race ducks beneath DiBiase and throws him over the top rope, nearly on top of the referee. Venator saw it. That was where the disqualification came, but the referee, stunned outside the ring, was unable to make a call. Another referee, Lee Warren, saw the action from the back, saw the referee stunned, started making his way through the crowd. He didn't see what happened. And there's Race trying for the suplex. DiBiase behind him. Back suplex. Lee Warren, not realizing the throw over the top rope, he gets down to make a count of 3. And everybody, almost everybody in that building at this point, thinks that Ted DiBiase is the world heavyweight champion. The place went berserk. Everybody standing and screaming. But then, as you can see, Venator had called for the bell just at the instant that referee Lee Warren made a count of 3. Myself, who I was doing the ring announcing, talking with the 2 referees, Venator explaining that he saw the man go over the top rope. He has no choice but to disqualify Race. That means, since the title cannot change hands on disqualification, that Harley Race will keep the gold belt. But nobody in that building really realized that DiBiase exulting down on his knees. He's so happy, and Race just stunned, disbelieving, not knowing what had happened. The referee's trying to explain the situation now. Venator goes over and raises DiBiase's hand. Yes, he was the winner by disqualification. But Harley Race kept the gold belt because that's why it came. That pin did not count. We try to explain the situation to the fans. Race holding the gold belt up, staggering to the ropes, escaping with the gold belt by the skin of his teeth. Ted DiBiase in shock as he realizes what has happened. He realizes the disqualification came first, but in the heat of the battle, well, who stops to think about it? Who can think about something like that? All you know is you're in a battle for your life, a battle for the biggest prize in wrestling. And Ted DiBiase missing it by just a bit. What a bitter disappointment. Referee Venator trying to explain the situation to DiBiase, and gentleman that he is, sportsman that he is, Ted DiBiase knew it was the right call. He realizes it, shakes hands with the referee.
The sensational new book by Larry Matisic is on sale now. The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time, The Definitive Shoot. Who was the best and why? Who's not on the list and why not? It's a fun read with tales of the greatest and those who were close. Get the inside stories about pro wrestling. Remember, Larry's other books, Wrestling at the Chase, Brody, and Drawing Heat the Hard Way, are available too. And get the hot bestseller now, The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time. This is the one that every wrestling fan needs.
For the best deal on pre-owned cars and trucks, check out King Auto Sales in Cahokia, Illinois. Buy here, pay here. It doesn't get easier than that. Easy terms and financing on the spot for the best deals on all makes and models of pre-owned cars and trucks. You can't beat King Auto Sales, 2915 Camp Jackson Road, Cahokia, Illinois. That's King Auto Sales in Cahokia, where the customer comes first. Phone 337-7050.
What happened? Yes, he said okay. Lee Warren nodding. Race, okay. Race is the partner of J.J. Dillon. DiBiase taking his lumps, and there's a tag made to Harley Race. Dillon thrown away. I don't know if DiBiase knows Race is in there. Oh, Dillon! Dillon crashes right into Harley Race, knocking him right over the top rope. There's DiBiase going for the figure 4 leg lock. DiBiase with the figure 4 on J.J. Dillon. DiBiase, who's already crippled Benny Romeo, with the figure 4 leg lock on Dillon. Here comes Race on the top rope. Race on the top rope. Diving headbutt from the top rope by Harley Race. The referees call for the bell, and I'm sure that Race has been disqualified for diving onto Ted DiBiase on the top rope. DiBiase sees Race there, and DiBiase is after Race. DiBiase is after Race. DiBiase pounding on the world champion. He knocks Race through the ropes and onto the apron. DiBiase, after Race outside, slams him head first into the steel ring post. Ted looked up and saw that Race was on that top rope. Race diving off the top rope to get DiBiase. Race is bleeding. Race is bleeding. DiBiase has pounded open the head of Harley Race. Race is bleeding. Ted DiBiase shoves the referee away, knocks Riley down. DiBiase pounding on the world champion. DiBiase whips Race to the rope, catches him coming off with a backflip. Race has already been disqualified. The match is officially over, but Race going after, taking a battering from DiBiase again. Race knocked clear over the top rope by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase, a man possessed, when he saw Race come off the top rope, clearly an attempt to injure Ted DiBiase. It backfired on Race. Oh, Race head first into the steel ring post by the Missouri champion, Ted DiBiase. Race has been injured by DiBiase. Race getting pounded. Look out. Race. DiBiase trying to be restrained by Huber, Warren, and Chuck Riley. DiBiase pounding Race right out of the building, running him clear back to the dressing room. Race wanted to be the partner for J.J. Dillon after Romeo was hurt. He was knocked out of the ring. DiBiase got the figure 4 on the world champion. The world champion dived off the top rope. Here comes Pat O'Connor down to try and help calm DiBiase. O'Connor, of course, the assistant to promoter Sam Muchnick. O'Connor trying to calm DiBiase and Huber. Well, you saw it. The official verdict is that Race was disqualified for jumping off the top rope. The winners of the match then in 2 straight falls are DiBiase and Huber. And here's Mickey going to make the official announcement. DiBiase and Huber win it in 2 straight falls. Here's Mickey.
In 2 minutes and 50 seconds, referee Chuck Raleigh disqualifies Race, so the winner of the 2 falls and the match, Missouri State champion Ted DiBiase and Spike Hubert.
Bearings, and look again at what just happened. There's Harley Race outside the ring with promoter Sam Muchnick after J.J. Dillon's original partner had been injured by the figure 4 leg lock of DiBiase. Sam Muchnick approved Race to go in the ring as Dillon's partner. Dillon was by himself, 2 against 1. Certainly not a fair situation. He hadn't requested any handicap tag match, and naturally Dillon wanted a partner. Race saw what had happened. He saw who had put the man out of commission. Naturally, he came down and offered his help. There was the tag made to Race. Dillon thrown off the ropes. DiBiase over the top, and Dillon crashing right into Race, knocking Race over the top rope. DiBiase not realizing, I guess, that Race was the legal man in the ring. Obviously, he didn't. He didn't see the tag. He goes for the figure 4 leg lock on Dillon. If he can keep Dillon in that figure 4 and make him submit, it'd be 2 straight falls. But look at the top of your screen. There goes Harley Race. He sees what's happening, and from the top rope, he's not worried about disqualification here. He's trying to hurt Ted DiBiase with that diving headbutt. The referees call for the bell, the disqualification. DiBiase looking at what's happened. He throws the referee aside. He realizes now what Race has tried to do, and he tears into Harley Race. Ted DiBiase pounding on the world champion, knocking him through the ropes. DiBiase crawling right out after Harley Race. The match is officially over. Race asked for this, Donnybrook, apparently. That's the way DiBiase looked at it, by Race diving off the top rope. And DiBiase going right after Race, not backing up an inch, not backing up a bit. He pounds on Race, and it was about there that you'll be able to see the blood coming out of the forehead of Race, because DiBiase was pounding on that head. DiBiase waiting for Race to get up. There goes the referee, knocked aside and down by the anger, the infuriated Ted DiBiase, pounding on the world champion's head. Watch as Race spins around in slow motion. You can see the blood, the cut open up on Race's head. DiBiase whipping him to the ropes, back flipping him high into the air. Race staggering around. DiBiase just a man possessed, a man intent, a man determined to go after the world champion, knocking Race out of the ring over the top rope. DiBiase still not able, they're still not able to stop him, still not able to restrain him. DiBiase going outside the ring, grabbing Race by the hair and lining him up with that steel ring post. There's still blood all over the post now where Race's head banged into that post. DiBiase just infuriated, out of control, teaching Harley Race a lesson right here, pounding on him outside the ring, slamming him into the table, dismantling ringside, still pounding on Race, and there goes Race heading for the dressing room. The referee's trying to restrain DiBiase.
The sensational new book by Larry Matisick is on sale now. The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time, The Definitive Shoot. Who was the best and why? Who's not on the list and why not? It's a fun read with tales of the greatest and those who were close. Get the inside stories about pro wrestling. Remember, Larry's other books, Wrestling at the Chase, Brody, and Drawing Heat the Hard Way, are available too. And get the hot bestseller now, The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time. This is the one that every wrestling fan needs.
For music and fun, the place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars, or the first U.S. tour of Nickelback, to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue, with more made at every new show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus, add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
Let Custom Truck Upholstery give your vehicle a facelift. Visit us on 707 North 20th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. Custom Truck Upholstery merges old world craftsmanship and attention to detail with the latest in modern technology to make your car, truck, boat, or motorcycle look like new. Call Custom Truck Upholstery at 618-875-9850.
A hard punch Now headbutt from Race.
Whether or not Harley Race had a title, he was always in the main events, and his battles with the Von Erich brothers, David in particular, were always red hot. Here's Race versus David Von Erich from Wrestling at the Chase on August 23rd, 1981.
With it right to the head of Von Erich. It stuns Race a little bit too, but Race is willing to pay that price because he knows it will hurt his opponent more. Look at the sheer intestinal fortitude it takes on the behalf of Race to be willing to take the punishment he gives himself, just hurting an opponent. There's the knee drop across David's head. Race covers Von Erich. Count of 1. At 2, David slips away from Race. The crowd begins to yell, "Go, David, go!" Race lifting David. What's he have in my head? Standing pile driver? Maybe a shoulder breaker? It's a standing pile driver. Oh, the standing pile driver. This could be curtains for Von Erich. He gets away again. How's he doing it? Race can't believe it. That standing pile driver has almost always meant victory for Harley Race. Something he's dusted off, but David took the standing pile driver, and he's still in there battling.
10 minutes have passed, 10 minutes left.
David blocks the punch and fights back right to the mouth of Race. David surviving the standing pile driver. He covers Race. Race throws David off. Two tough, hard men in there. Headbutt to the abdomen by Race, driving his head right into the lower abdomen of David Von Erich. Race going for the pile driver. He tried the standing pile driver. He has David in the air. Another pile driver delivered from the second way. Oh, David could have sustained a neck injury from that pile driver. That's 2 pile drivers from different angles that Race has scored with. Race still not content. He's not going for a pin. He stops right on the chest of David Von Erich. Race knows he's going to take more of the pile drivers. Harley going outside the ring. Crawling up on the ropes. Race up on the ropes to dive on David, but David's there. He grabs Race. David has Race's body in control. If he can lift him off and slam him. The crowd screaming. A tremendous battle between Race and David Von Erich. 2 pile drivers and David still in there. Flying elbow drop by Von Erich. Von Erich covers Race. And at 2, Race throws Von Erich off. David again, the flying elbow drop, and Race rolled away. Don't ever count him out. Don't count out Von Erich. Don't count out Race. Neither man will break. David missing the flying elbow drop, and Race rolled away. Race grabs the side saddle suplex. The side saddle suplex by Race, who's a master of all methods of suplex. Race lines up David, flying elbow drop, and David got out of the way. Race waited a second too long. He thought that David was a bit groggier than he was, and David managed to get out of the way. Race won't stay down. Huh, what more could you ask for? What a battle, what a confrontation between Race and David Von Erich. David pitches Race to the rope. Flying tackle, they both crack heads, and Race goes right out of the ring and down to the floor. Both men down. Race outside the ring, David inside the ring. The referee counting on Race, a heavy collision. Both men groggy anyhow from the wear and tear of this tremendous battle. Race trying to regain his bearings. Before the count of 10, David was on his feet inside the ring, so he avoided being counted out on the mat. He was up at 8. Race has 20 outside on the floor. Race reaches inside and grabs the leg of David Von Erich. Race pulls David outside the ring. Look out here. David Von Erich, as you can see, slammed into the press table by Harley Race. The table dismantled from the force of Race slamming David into that table. David trying to pull himself up and come up to the apron. The referee trying to keep Race back. Race grabbing David and yanking his head down over the top cable, strangling David over that top rope. Von Erich in trouble outside the ring from the assault of Harley Race. David reaches up. He grabs Race, trying to pull Race outside, but Race has the advantage right there. He lifts David to the apron, going for the suplex. The suplex, but David gets away from it. Back rolling cradle by David Von Erich on a 1 and a 2. Race gouges the eyes of David Von Erich. What a fantastic match between Race and David Von Erich. Everything that Race has dished out, David has been able to withstand and still come back and put Race in all sorts of trouble. David fighting back toe-to-toe, Race and Von Erich. David getting the better of it right now. He's going for the pile driver on Race. David Von Erich gives Race a pile driver. Von Erich with a pile driver on Race. David covers Race. Race puts his leg on that bottom rope. Oh, that experience, that instinct. Race always knows where he is. David angrily goes to stride. Race and pounds on Harley.
15 minutes have passed, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes remaining. David Von Erich tosses Race and puts on the claw. There it is, the Iron Claw. The Iron Claw by David Von Erich on Harley Race, right in the middle of the ring. This could be it for Race. David grinding in with that Iron Claw on Race. Race trying to get to the ropes, reaching out for the ropes. He may not have enough left to get there. He grabs that rope and pushes Von Erich into the ropes. The referee forces Venator to break the Iron Claw. Forces Von Erich rather to break the Iron Claw. Race hanging on to those ropes. Oh, he saw that stomach exposed. Race spotted that stomach exposed and drove the headbutt in there. Harley blinking, his eyes look glassy, but he still knows where Von Erich is. He scored with a punch. Von Erich fighting back. Race and Von Erich both showing the signs of this grueling duel. Neither man able to come up with the right combination to put his opponent down. Oh, did Race ever slam that head in there to the jaw of Von Erich? I don't think David's going to be eating steak tonight. He'll be sipping through a straw. He's taking some shots to the jaw from Race. Race going for the suplex. Race gets it. The suplex by Race. That's Race's favorite. When he's in the most trouble, he'll try that suplex. Race going up on the second rope. He's legal from there. He's legal. He's lining him up for the diving headbutt and misses. David rolled away. David going up on the ropes himself. David's legal from there. Giant splash the claw. No, he went for a diving claw. He has the claw on Race.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes.
For the second time in this fabulous battle, it's David Von Erich with the Iron Claw on Harley Race. Race trying to get away, looking for those ropes again. David kicks the hands off the rope. David kicking the hands off the rope. He has Race in the middle. There's plenty of time left, still over 2 minutes remaining. I don't care how tough Race is, I don't think even he can hang on under the stress of the Iron Claw that long. Race grabbing the referee and Race! Oh, Race slamming the referee, Charles Venator into David Von Erich. Venator cracked his head into the jaw of Von Erich. Von Erich pitched through the ropes and out of the ring by Race. The referee is down and injured. Race going outside the ring after David Von Erich. David stunned after hitting head first with the referee. He's going for a suplex outside the ring on the concrete floor. Oh, Race with a suplex on David Von Erich outside the ring. David's been hurt. His legs quivering. He's been hurt. The referee calling for the bell. I'm sure he's going to disqualify Race for slamming him into Von Erich, but that doesn't no way justify what Race just did to David Von Erich. Race going up on the top rope. Race slapping at Venator. David Von Erich has been injured. Down on the floor, badly hurt. He's holding his shoulder. Here comes Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich pushing Race into the ring. Kerry Von Erich shoving Race away from the Venator and also into Von Erich. Kerry ripping off his jacket. Kerry Von Erich seeing what has happened to his brother. Gary Von Erich looking hard at Race and Race. Heading for the dressing room. Gary Von Erich really had no choice. That was his brother. That was his brother down there on the floor who took that suplex on the concrete floor. David bent forward. Brazil and Spike Huber trying to help David get to his feet. David is on his feet. He's shaking pretty badly. They'll have a doctor take a good look at him. Gary Von Erich coming to. Mickey's microphone has been destroyed. I think we'll have to handle the announcement from here. Charles Benader coming down the steps. Charlie, disqualification for...
Disqualification because Harley is missing.
Slammed him into you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Charlie, a little groggy right now for handling the referee, but the match does end in a disqualification. David Von Erich is the winner, and we'll be back with more after this.
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 State Tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
The sensational new book by Larry Matisic is on sale now. The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time, The Definitive Shoot. Who was the best and why? Who's not on the list and why not? It's a fun read with tales of the greatest and those who were close. Get the inside stories about pro wrestling. Remember Larry's other books, Wrestling at the Chase, Brody, and Drawing Heat the Hard Way are available too. And get the hot bestseller now, The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time. This is the one that every wrestling fan needs.
That's just a touch of some of the memorable action that made St. Louis and Wrestling at the Chase so special. Folks like SICW promoter Herb Simmons and me grew up on the show, from Fez to Kaniski to O'Connor to the Bruiser. And of course by 1970 I was working for the St. Louis Wrestling Club and Sam Muchnick. So is it any wonder that Herb and I want to keep this unique tradition alive today? Wrestling Explosion will be back next week with that mix of memories and new excitement from SICW, and make plans to be in Caseyville Saturday, March 29th for another big card.
As for this Donnybrook, apparently. That's the way DiBiase looked at it, by Race diving off the top rope. And DiBiase going right after Race, not backing up and in.